Welcome to my channel. In this video, everything is purely fictional. In the enigmatic town of Ravenwood, where the streets lay silent and the wind whispered secrets, there was a legend that chilled the hearts of those who dared to speak its name. They called it the Wraith of the Hollow, a malevolent entity that took the form of a teenage girl with a pair of mutilated arms. It was said to appear when the right words were spoken, and it possessed the unholy ability to pass through solid objects. For years, the townsfolk had lived in fear of the Wraith, telling tales of its haunting presence that lurked just beyond the edges of perception. They warned their children not to speak the forbidden words that could summon it, for they knew not what dark desires it harbored. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the town, a group of curious teenagers gathered in an abandoned, decaying mansion at the edge of the woods. They spoke of the Wraith, daring one another to invoke its name. "It's just a silly legend," Emily, a brave but skeptical girl, declared. "I don't believe it for a second." Her friends, Mark, Lisa, and Jake, exchanged nervous glances. The mansion's crumbling walls seemed to bear witness to 1,000 untold horrors, and the air was thick with an oppressive silence. "Come on, Emily," Mark said with a shaky laugh. "What's the worst that could happen?" With that, they gathered in a circle, their breaths visible in the cold night air. Emily cleared her throat and spoke the forbidden words, her voice trembling, "Wraith of the Hollow, we summon thee." For a moment, nothing happened. The air grew still, and the room remained shrouded in darkness. Then, the temperature dropped, and a faint, mournful whisper echoed through the mansion's crumbling halls. "You have summoned me," it hissed, its voice a grotesque amalgamation of agony and longing. A chill ran down their spines as they watched the shadowy figure materialize before them. It took the form of a young girl, her face obscured by tangled, jet-black hair. But as their eyes adjusted to the darkness, they saw the horrific truth: the girl's arms were grotesquely mutilated, twisted into grotesque shapes that defied nature. "Who are you?" Lisa stammered, her voice barely audible. "I am the Wraith of the Hollow," the entity replied, its voice a nightmarish chorus of anguished souls. "I have been called forth, and now you must face the consequences." As the Wraith moved closer, its mutilated arms reached out, elongating like shadowy tendrils. Panic gripped the teenagers as they realized the true horror of their situation. "We didn't mean to summon you," Jake pleaded, his voice desperate. "Please, let us go." The Wraith's hollow eyes bore into their souls, and a sinister smile twisted its spectral lips. "There is no escape. You have awakened me, and now you shall become a part of my eternal torment." With a sudden, horrifying lurch, the Wraith lunged at them, its elongated arms wrapping around their bodies like suffocating vipers. The teenagers screamed in terror as they felt themselves being pulled into the darkness, their vision fading to black. When they awoke, they found themselves trapped in a nightmarish realm, a twisted reflection of their own world. The sky was a sickly shade of green, and the air was heavy with the stench of decay. The landscape was a labyrinthine maze of gnarled trees and grotesque, shifting shadows. "We're in the hollow," Emily whispered, her voice trembling. As they wandered through the eerie landscape, they encountered other lost souls, victims of the Wraith's insatiable hunger for torment. Each one bore the mark of their encounter with the entity, their bodies twisted and contorted in grotesque ways. Desperation set in as they realized that the Wraith of the Hollow was toying with them, subjecting them to unspeakable horrors that defied the laws of reality. It reveled in their fear and suffering, feeding off their anguish like a malevolent parasite. Days turned into endless nights, and the teenagers' sanity began to unravel. They were haunted by nightmarish visions, tormented by the Wraith's eerie whispers that echoed through the hollow. "You can never escape," it taunted. "You are mine for all eternity." But deep within the darkness, Emily's skepticism turned to determination. She refused to be another victim of the Wraith's insidious cruelty. With a newfound strength, she devised a plan to confront the entity and break free from its grasp. Gathering her friends, Emily led them on a treacherous journey through the nightmarish landscape, following the faint echoes of the wraith's haunting whispers. As they approached its lair, they could feel the malevolent force growing stronger, its presence suffocating. With a final, desperate plea, Emily confronted the wraith. Please subscribe, click the like button, and share. Your support means the world to me.